A world divided by a single man. In every era, there is a man the world cannot agree on. Some call him a dictator. Some call him a savior. Some say he is the last emperor of a dying empire. Others say he is the only protector of a nation that was betrayed. Fade to black. One face emerges. Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. To the West, he is the villain of the century. To many Russians, he is the man who saved them from collapse. But the truth is far more complicated. This is not the story of a politician. This is the story of a nation reborn and the man who shaped it through fire. Chapter 1. The night the Red Giant died. 1991. The Soviet flag is lowered for the last time. On Christmas Day, the Soviet Union, once a titan that terrified the West, vanished like smoke. For Americans and Europeans, it was victory. For Russians, it was humiliation. Life collapses overnight. Factories shut down. Salaries turn to dust. Inflation hits 2,000%. Mafia takes over. Millions fall into poverty. Soldiers beg in the streets. A superpower becomes a shattered memory. And somewhere in St. Petersburg, a former KGB officer stands in food lines. Before he became Putin the Powerful, he was Putin the Survivor, the man who drove a taxi at night just to feed his family. The world celebrates the fall of communism, but Russians feel abandoned, robbed, betrayed. And in the ashes, a silent, disciplined, steel-hearted man watches everything. A man shaped by Cold War paranoia. A man trained to trust no one. Putin. Chapter 2. A ghost in Moscow, mid-90s. Russia isn't ruled by presidents. It's ruled by oligarchs, billionaires who bought the country for pennies during the collapse. Democracy? To Russians, this wasn't democracy, it was a heist. In this chaos, a man unknown to the public arrives in Moscow. No glamour, no charisma, no political family, no wealth. Putin moves through halls of power like a ghost, quiet, calculating, disciplined. And then something unbelievable happens. In 1999, a man almost nobody knew became Prime Minister of Russia. In the West, they laughed. In Russia, they were confused. Who is this man? They asked. They were about to find out. Chapter 3. Explosions in the night, September 1999. Apartment buildings explode in multiple cities. Hundreds of civilians die. Fear grips the nation. Putin appears on TV for the first time with fire in his voice. Putin, we will hunt them down. Even if they hide in the toilet, we will destroy them. The line becomes legend. Overnight, the quiet bureaucrat becomes the face of Russian strength. His approval jumps from 2% to 80% in weeks. To the West, this rise was suspicious. To Russians, it was salvation. This moment transforms Putin from obscure minister to national protector. The war in Chechnya begins, and Putin becomes president. Chapter 4. Resurrection of a dead nation. Putin begins rebuilding Russia brick by brick. Economy. Currency stabilizes. Poverty drops dramatically. GDP increases multiple times. Foreign debt paid off, early security. Mafia empires crushed. Oligarchs exiled or jailed. KGB networks rebuilt under new names. He restored something far more valuable than money. He restored dignity. Millions of Russians who lived through the humiliation of the 90s felt reborn. For the first time in a decade, people felt safe. Pensions returned. Salaries stopped evaporating. The military regained strength. To the Western world, Putin was becoming a threat. To Russians, he was becoming the answer to their prayers. This duality is the root of his legend. Chapter 5. Putin versus the world. As Russia grows, the West grows nervous. NATO expands eastward. Putin warns repeatedly, "You are crossing a red line." But the West ignores him. To understand Putin's rage, you must understand Russia's trauma. 27 million Russians died in World War II. In Russian memory, invasion always comes from the West. So when NATO surrounded Russia with bases, it confirmed Putin's deepest fear. The West wanted a weak Russia. He responds with cyber attacks, political operations abroad, gas and energy dominance, military modernization, alliances with China, Iran, Syria, invasion of Georgia, annexation of Crimea. To the West, he became a tyrant. To Russians, he became the shield against Western aggression. The world sees aggression, Russia sees defense. Both narratives coexist fiercely. Chapter 6. Shadow of the Tsars. To understand Putin, understand his roots. He grows up in a shared Soviet apartment where rats run through the corridors. His father nearly dies in World War II. His mother starves during the siege of Leningrad. He grows up learning, only strength protects you. Weakness invites attack. Russia must never kneel again. This is not just politics. This is trauma passed down through generations. In the KGB, Putin learns patience, manipulation, control. He learns the art of silence. The power of fear, his worldview. His worldview becomes a mixture of history, paranoia, and realism. Chapter 7. The Dark Mirror. Everything has a price. Human rights groups report. Assassinated journalists, poisoned opposition leaders, crushed protests, manipulated elections, censorship, persecution of dissent, interference in foreign countries. The list grows longer each year. Power saved Russia, power also corrupted Russia. For every achievement there is a shadow. For every praise, a condemnation. Putin is not a hero. Putin is not a villain. He is something far more dangerous. A man who believes completely in his own mission. Chapter 8. The war that changed everything Ukraine. The moment that splits Putin's legacy in two. To the west, it is an unprovoked invasion. To Putin, it is the last stand against NATO expansion. Russia becomes isolated. Sanctions crush its economy. Thousands die. Putin becomes globally feared, yet domestically supported by millions. It is here, in Ukraine, that the world sees him as a villain, and Russians see him as a defender. History is rewriting itself in real time. Hero or villain. Some leaders are remembered for peace. Some for war, some for freedom. Some for control. Putin will be remembered for all of them. He rebuilt a broken nation. He crushed opponents. He restored pride. He unleashed fear. He protected his people. He divided the world. He shaped the 21st century. He is the hero Russia believes it needed, and the villain the West insists it must stop. History will not judge him simply, and neither should we. Putin, hero or villain, the story is not over.